Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Chemistry Quest. This is the 11th lecture in the series of biomolecules chapter. In this video we will be discussing about nucleic acids and hormones. So let's get started. Nucleic acids. Every generation of each and every species resembles its ancestors in many ways. So how are these characteristics transmitted from one generation to the next? It has been observed that nucleus of a living cell is responsible for this transmission of inherent characters, also called heredity. The particles in nucleus of a cell responsible for heredity are called chromosomes, which are made up of proteins and another type of biomolecules called nucleic acids. There are two types of nucleic acids, mainly DNA and RNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA is ribonucleic acid. Since nucleic acids are long chain polymers of nucleotides, so they are also called polynucleotides. Next, we will study about chemical composition of nucleic acids. Complete hydrolysis of DNA or RNA yields a pentose sugar, phosphoric acid, and nitrogen containing heterocyclic compounds called bases. In DNA molecules, the sugar moiety is beta D2-deoxyribose, whereas in RNA molecule it is beta D ribose sugar. So let's see their structures. This is beta D ribose. So at the fourth carbon there is CH2OH and there is a hydrogen, and there is at the second carbon you have to see there is a OH group and here it is H group. So oxygen is not there. That is why it is known as deoxy. So beta D ribose sugar and beta D 2-deoxyribose sugar. So DNA contains four bases: adenine and guanine, cytosine and thymine. RNA also contains four bases, but the first three bases are same as in DNA. Thymine is absent in RNA. Instead of thymine, it contains uracil. So these are the structures of the nitrogenous bases. Next, we will study about the structure of nucleic acids. So a unit formed by the attachment of base to first carbon position of sugar is a nucleoside. So basically, when sugar combines with base, nitrogenous base, it forms nucleoside. In nucleoside, the sugar carbons are numbered as first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, etc. in order to distinguish between from the bases. When nucleoside is linked to phosphoric acid at 5 carbon position of sugar moiety, we get a nucleotide. So we have already discussed that sugar plus base is nucleoside, but when phosphoric acid H3PO4 it is connected to nucleoside, it forms a nucleotide. So in nucleotide, T is there and T letter it represents 3 also. THREE, 3 units. Let's see its structure. So first we will see the structure of a nucleoside. So this is a nucleoside. Sugar moiety is there, first prime, second prime, third prime, fourth prime, fifth prime carbon, and a base is attached. So this is nucleoside. But when PO4 minus PO4, so 5 prime, and here it is PO4 minus 2 is connected. So to the 5 prime carbon of the sugar moiety. It is known as nucleotide. Let's discuss their structure in more detail. So nucleosides are different and nucleotides are different. Nucleotides are joined together by phosphodiester linkage between 5 carbon prime and 3 prime carbon atoms of the pentose sugar. The formation of typical dinucleotide is shown in a figure. So when these nucleotides, one and this is 2, so this is combined, this is sugar, this is nitrogenous base, and this is phosphoric acid part. So when these two nucleotides combine, they combine from the 5 prime from one sugar moiety and 3 prime of another sugar moiety. It forms a phosphodiester linkage. So this is the formation of polynucleotide. But in this case, it is a dinucleotide because two nucleotides are joined by one phosphodiester linkage. So a simplified version is as follows. This is a base attached to a sugar, then phosphate group, and this is the one unit. Sugar, base, and phosphate. It is representing a polymer. Now next discuss some more points. Information regarding the sequence of nucleotides in the chain of nucleic acid is called its primary structure. Nucleic acids have a secondary structure also. James Watson and Francis Crick gave a double-strand helix structure of DNA. Two nucleic acid chains are bound about each other and held together by hydrogen bonds between pairs of bases. The two strands are complementary to each other because the hydrogen bonds are formed between specific pair of bases. Adenine form hydrogen bonds with thymine, whereas cytosine forms hydrogen bonds with guanine. In secondary structure of RNA, single-stranded helix is present which sometimes folds back on itself. RNA molecules are of three types and they perform different functions. They are named as mRNA, rRNA, and transfer RNA. Next, we will study biological functions of nucleic acids. DNA is the chemical basis of heredity and may be regarded as a genetic information reserve. DNA is exclusively responsible for maintaining the identity of different species of organisms over millions of years. A DNA molecule is capable of self-duplication during cell division and identical DNA strands are transferred to daughter cells. Another important function of nucleic acid is the protein synthesis in the cell. Actually, the proteins are synthesized by various RNA molecules in the cell, but the message for the synthesis of particular protein is present in DNA. It's all about nucleic acid. Let's study hormones. Hormones are molecules that act as intercellular messengers. They are present within the cell. Intercellular means there are two cells and they are present here in between two cells. They are produced by endocrine glands in the body and are poured directly into the bloodstream, which transports them to the site of action. In terms of chemical nature, some of these are steroids, example estrogens and androgens. Some are polypeptides, for example insulin and endorphins, and some are amino acid derivatives such as epinephrine and norepinephrine. Next, we will study functions of hormones. Hormones have several functions in the body. They help to maintain the balance of biological activities in the body. The role of insulin in keeping the blood glucose level within the narrow limit is an example of this function. Insulin is released in response to the rapid rise in blood glucose level, whereas hormone glucagon tends to increase the glucose level in blood. The two hormones together regulate the glucose level in the blood. Epinephrine and norepinephrine mediate responses to external stimuli. Growth hormones and sex hormones play a role in growth and development. Thyroxine produced in thyroid gland is an iodinated derivative of amino acid tyrosine. Abnormally low level of thyroxine leads to hypothyroidism, which is characterized by letharginess and obesity. Increased level of thyroxine causes hyperthyroidism. Low level of iodine in the diet may lead to hyperthyroidism and enlargement of the thyroid gland. This condition is largely being controlled by adding sodium iodide to commercial table salt, that is the iodized salt. Next, we will study about the steroid hormones. So, steroid hormones are produced by adrenal cortex and gonads, testes in male and ovaries in female. So, hormones released by adrenal cortex play a very important role in the function of the body. For example, glucocorticoids control the carbohydrate metabolism, modulate the inflammatory reactions, and are involved in reaction to stress. The mineralocorticoid control the level of excretion of water and salt by the kidney. The adrenal cortex does not function properly, then one of the results may be Addison's disease, characterized by hypoglycemia, weakness, and increased susceptibility to stress. The disease is fatal until it is treated by glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. Next, we will discuss some more points. Hormones released by gonads are responsible for development of secondary sex characters. Testosterone is a major sex hormone produced in males. It is responsible for development of secondary male characteristics like deep voice, facial hair, general physical constitution, and estradiol is the main female sex hormone. It is responsible for development of secondary female characteristics and participates in the control of menstrual cycle. Progesterone is responsible for preparing the uterus for implantation of fertilized egg. So hit the like button if you like my video. Please share with your friends. Subscribe the channel and don't miss to hit the notification bell for upcoming videos. Thank you and have a nice day.